Alright, Shalawam, Shalawam, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Yahsham, for that. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of great millstones, that preaches 100% truth of the gospel, waking up and helping to seal the elect of the nation of Israel through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai. And salutation and very sincere out to the apostles of the gospel in all righteousness and in all sincerity, risking your lives and your freedom to do so. Okay, so by the Hebrew Israelites, coming in week in and week out, and it's another weekend. So you know what it is, man. You can bring out the camp videos. Okay, it's another time to go out to the highways and byways and do this work. Alright. And you know what it is that we, and before I say anything, today is the 15th of October 2021, the year of hastening unto the coming of the day of our Lord Yahweh, and Yahweh, Yahsham, those are the true names of the Heavenly Father, His Son, and the Holy Spirit respectively. Okay, Yahweh being the true name of the Heavenly Father, the Creator of heaven and earth, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, the God which the scriptures speak of. Yahweh Shai is only because His Son, which the world ignorantly and willfully calls Jesus Christ, and the Rachak Padah, which is the Holy Spirit. Okay, so I'll tell you once again, bringing out this word. Let me just get right into it. So I'll just go right into it, get the first thing I want to bring out. And basically, I just remembered that I wanted to actually speak about it because yesterday I was watching this video, okay, that I had queued up, and basically what it was is white. You know what? I still have the video. Yes, let me just look it up. Okay, my watch. Let me just look it up. Okay, whitewashed, unmasking the world of whiteness. And what it was going into was how all these different Edomite tribes, not the major ones, I'm talking about the minor ones, the Slav, the Balkan Edomites, like what country again? Not the country that these Kardashians are from. Armenia, yeah, like the Armenians, the Greeks, the more Slavic, the more Slavic Eastern European Edomite tribes, how when they wanted to come into Babylon the Great, that's first immigration that all these Edomites had to come into Babylon the Great. Basically, what's happening is that they have to give up their ethnic identity. So they start being, Greeks, they start being, Ukrainians, they start being, Austrians. I think Austria is also Eastern Europe. But basically, they stop being all these Eastern European identities. They give up all their identities so that they can embrace that white Edomite identity. And basically, what I was going into was, that's Hellenization right there. When you give up your own ethnic identity, and even Jake is still doing this in this time, you all for what? All just to be an American, all just to be part of Babylon the Great. That's exactly what Babylon demands of you, especially if you are an Israelite, and you throw away your identity and become a part of them. Because all these nations, all these rulers, even the Persians talked about the exact same thing, okay? You go into the book of the additions of Esther, and let me say they can get that, how they wanted to unite, they wanted to unite the whole world under the Persian name. And basically, the whole reason why why we even have that feast of Purim right now is because Haman at that time managed to convince the king, the king of Persia, that our people's laws were against the Persian Empire's rules. Because basically what they wanted to do was what was it I'm looking for? They wanted to unite all kingdoms under their banner. And that's what all these nations are always wanted to do, As soon as they come into power, what they want to do, they want to bring all kingdoms together under them, so they can have this everlasting kingdom and their empire can rule forever. Right? But there's only one empire that actually has that capability, that can actually rule like that, and that is the Israelites. Okay, you can go into the book of Daniel, the 2nd chapter, and Daniel the 7th chapter, and it gives you that I need to show you that the only everlasting rule is the rule of our Lord Jehovah Shai. So let me just get that to the book of Habakkuk 2, and I'll start from verse 4. Habakkuk 2 verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. And basically this is going into the wicked, okay? Esau, Edom, the entire nation of Esau, Edom. And let me read on from verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations. So let me read that again. Habakkuk 2 verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And there's a precept that goes into how the grave, basically death, cannot be satisfied. One of the things that has no limits, alright, which is death, the grave. So now, Esau Edom is in that same mindset, which is covetousness, okay? His greed cannot be satisfied. So it's going into, so what is going into just stealing all the resources, okay? All the resources on the earth, including the human resources, which are the people. So as soon as that's why they went around. That's why he still goes around conquering all the earth, stealing from different lands. Rape, robbing, and murdering wherever he goes. And anybody that comes into his own lands, his own kingdoms, okay. Now you have to conform to his ideologies. You have to conform to his doctrines, And the other Makama, he always brings this out, how the terms white, black, and all these other colors, they are all constructs that were created by Esau Edom in order to push his Edomite supremacy. So now you so-called blacks, which of course are the southern kingdom, they are the bottom, and then these so-called whites, which of course they're not even actually whites, but they are pale, they are red because their blood shows forth through their skin, and even the scriptures identifies them as being red, right? But us, Israelites, and even the Hamites that are also being called black. You look at their skin pigment. There is nobody, okay, on the face of the earth that actually has black skin. It's always dark brown. It's always darkish brown. Sometimes these Hamites, they have this blue hue to them. Even with but basically it's always brown. You see the distinction. You see the difference, especially when these Edomites wear white, and instead their skin has that peach color. That's the color, that peach color. And I want to also say that if you ask anybody that actually does that does drawings, does cartoons, whenever they want to use a color to represent an Edomite, the color that they always go to is red, okay, a shade of red. And that's basically what this Edomite skin is. Their skin is pink, okay, a shade of red. So now back to what I was saying. And basically our people are in this same Hellenized mind state or mindset, believing that they are African American, even believing that they are African is also part of Hellenization, because this land, okay, that I'm in right now, this land that's we call the land of the blacks, the dark continent, all that. This land is not called Africa, right? You go into the history and the name of the individual that they actually derive the name of Africa from is the Osipio, I believe. The Osipio Africanus, and he was a Roman general. I think during the time of Hannibal, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just quickly check it in the let me just quickly check it online. I don't want to make a mistake about it. So yes, yes, the Punic was. Yeah, the Punic was. So I was like, I was right. Okay, so this is the article here. Scipio Africanus was a talented Roman general who commanded the army that defeated Hannibal in the final battle of the Second Punic War in 202 BC. Scipio Africanus was a member of the patrician Roman family. His father, a Roman consul, and this is going into his history. Whereas all we get about that. Okay, so this was a man that Carthage, okay, which was in I believe it was modern day either Morocco or Libya. All right, if I can't remember the exact country that it was in, but it was in North Africa, and that was one of the last strongholds for our people, the Israelites, and that was being held by Hannibal during that time. You know, you go into the history about it, and this individual, this Scipio Africanus, was the one that actually took down that stronghold, and now this whole continent is being named after him. And that's actually a precept right there. So let me just bring that out. You know that Esau Edom not only that in his mind. Okay, let me just get it. I don't want to butcher it. I was actually going to bring that later, but let me just bring it now. Let me just get it now. Here it is. So this is the book of Psalm 49 verse 11, and it reads, "Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names." And this is Esau Edom right there, because right now these Edomites, especially these they think that their kingdom will never have an end. They are trying to make that eternal kingdom by bringing various nations to themselves. Okay, by bringing by bringing all these nations under their rulership, and then they are the ones, and that's why they change history. That's why they change, basically they change everything. They change history. They change the way that even the days are counted. They change, what is seen as righteous and what is seen as wicked. And they want to be, like that scripture said, they want to be the Most High. In that they are the ones that make the laws of righteousness, and in that they're the ones that control the lives and what to do on the earth. That's why they have, all these different spy technologies that are making people to take this tab at this time, and eventually the MOCD. Right, because everything that we're seeing happening now, especially dealing with prophecy, all it's all leading to one single path, and that is the MOCD. So all roads lead to the MOCD at the end of the day. Okay, so now let me get another precept. That is the book of First Maccabees. Because this is what people have done. I've been that going to the book of the First Maccabees, you see about hypocrisy. When these wicked, and let me get that precept. They considered together and said, "Come on, let us make a covenant with the heathen." So let me bring it out. First Maccabees 1 verse 11, and it reads, "In those days, when they out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that's around about us. But since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward hearing that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised." And if you go into the history, and the Apostle Ariama actually brought this out, that they were actually sewing back their foreskins, their foreskins on their penises, to make themselves seem uncircumcised. Because during that time, the Romans were, the Romans, I believe it was the Greeks at that time, they were really going at it. Okay, they were killing Jake that kept the Sabbath, killing Jake that was, they were killing Jake that kept the Sabbath, they were killing Jake that circumcised their children. The scripture said that nobody could even profess themselves to be a Jew. And this is Esau's MO all day. And this is showing you right there. And these Greeks are actually Edomites. Because what are they doing right now? They are making you abandon your culture. They're basically giving you that Hellenization. Now they call it Americanization, where you see all these different countries, all these different peoples, okay? They are taking after the ways of Babylon the Great. They are taking after the ways of these Edomites, following their customs and their culture. Even to the point of abandoning their own culture. You see the example that of that how most of these major cities all over the earth, even though there are different people ruling over them, they do all look the exact same, with the skyscrapers, okay, with these Babylonian food stores, your KFCs, McDonald's, okay, 7-Eleven, all these different stores that were made in Babylon the Great. And this is what Esau Edom has done. He has occupied in all these countries, okay. has control over their government, over them. And now they don't even I'm trying to figure out how I want to frame this now. How I want to frame this now. How I want to frame this now. Basically they have adopted the customs of Esau Edom, and that's what that Hellenization is. Because that's basically what that Hellenization is. Okay, so I want to get a few more things. Okay. Yeah, okay, I read everything. And that's basically what that Hellenization. And back to what I was saying. That's basically what that Hellenization is. Now you ask these Christians, especially you try to explain this Hellenization to them. They don't want to get it, okay? They don't want to get. They don't want to say that the Gentiles are talking about they are the natural Gentiles, the heathen, all the other nations. Now everybody can be saved as long as we believe in as long as we believe in God and Jesus Christ, which of course isn't even the true names, okay? But all that is just pagan worship. You believe that those names and those gods can save you, when in actuality they can't, okay? The same way Buddha can't save anybody, Allah can't save anybody, okay? Yahweh, because last week that dream that was the thing, and we are going at it. Basically, it was one of those he was a messianic Jew, and he was talking about how he believes in Yahweh, Yehoshua, how he has a connection, how he is with those Amalekites in the Holy Land, which of course they could be Jakes as well, since they believe in the Lord Yahweh Shai. But that's beside the point. What they are in is Judaism. Okay, now I was trying to explain to you that I'm not out here preaching that the doctrine of Judaism. What we are preaching is the doctrine of Yahweh Shai to our people. And he himself, he's in that Hellenized mind state, right? He might be in the right state of mind, understanding that that Christianity is using the wrong name. But what did he go and do? He went and took another pagan religion, which is that Judaism, which of course is not 100% true, right? Because it's basically the same as Christianity, in that it was created by Esau Edom in order for our people to stumble and not get the true understanding. Alright, because he doesn't know how to celebrate the Sabbath according to the scriptures. He doesn't know if I get they get some of the high holidays right. Let me just say that they get some of the high holidays right. But concerning the Sabbath, okay, concerning the Passover, which are the ones I'm sure about, they don't know how to celebrate those high holidays because they are, what is that for now? How you measure time, the dating system, I should say, is not the same as what we use. You go into the scriptures, you go into the Old Testament even, and it tells you about the new moon, alright? How I use that as, even the Apostle talks about that, the moon was made for, and that's in the book of Genesis and also in the Apocrypha. I believe that is, I don't want to put the wrong thing. Basically, the moon was made for a show of time and seasons, okay? And that's how the moon that existed in our perspective, and that's how we measure the time and the seasons. Alright, but that's beside the point. Let me just get back to the topic, and I'm going just sidetracking. Like I said, I'm going just going different things. But that's also relevant because that's part of the Hellenization, right? That's part of the Hellenization. Okay, since we are separated from our heritage now, we have gathered all these hit onto ourselves, all these for the most part, hit onto themselves, all these idols, okay, gods of wood and stone. Because you have these so-called Jews praying to the Christian prayers in the Wailing Wall, which they will say that is the original type of temple, but it's not, because going to the history, and it's actually an old Roman fort, or I'm going to have a crowd they call it, but it's actually an old Roman fort, because our Lord Jehovah Shai prophesied that there will not be one stone left standing when the temple of Jerusalem is destroyed. Alright, and it was destroyed by those self-same Romans, alright? Those self-same Edomites are in the Holy Land right now. It was destroyed. And this, by the way, let me just say this as well. You start going into those Amalekites, let me just say this as well, And I've actually done a video about this, and I'll probably have to do another one. But basically, ever since those Amalekites went into that holy land, ever since 1948, when that Balfour Declaration was signed, okay, when the British government basically dashed these Amalekites that land, ever since that day, as soon as they landed, they call it, I think they call it the Day Zero War or something like that. As soon as they landed in that land, when they've been at war, okay, been at war with they've been at war with all the other nations that have been around about them since that day. They have not had a moment of peace. At least even Babylon, you can say that, okay, if Babylon has been at war 93% of the time, so there has been a period of time in which, the Babylonians weren't fighting against anybody. But these Amalekites, they've been at war ever since they came into that land. So ever since they touched on that land, man, they've been fighting, they've been in conflict, they've been, they've had skirmishes, and right now they're having a proxy war with Iran right now. Okay, Iran has just declared war on Israel right now, so they are still at war to the day. And that's the fulfillment of the prophecy right there. And the Most High will always have war with Amalek forever and ever. And that, the gassing that happened to them, there the Holocaust, alright, if I can see that on YouTube, that's my video being taken down. That was just a fulfillment of that prophecy. And the Most High will always be at war with Amalek from generation to generation. That World War II was just a fulfillment of that prophecy. And also the one where it talks about the least of the flock shall draw them out. Because the reason why, Babylon even actually intervened in World War II was because of that. What happened to those so-called Jews, man. That shows right there that this Amalek is the chief tribe of Esau Edom. Because now Babylon is going to still come out to defend them, and they are the biggest welfare states. Okay, I think the most recent news about that situation is that Babylon sent like billions of dollars to them for weaponry, and basically the justification they were using was that, these Amalekites, they will still buy the weapons. They were just sending them that money so that they can use it to buy the weapons from us or something like that. Which completely makes completely no sense when you think about it. All right, but that's just showing you, man, that that's just showing you who is truly ruling over you. Who can't you criticize? You want to open your mouth and say anything about these Israelis, okay, these so-called Jews right now, these Jewish, alright, and you can't even do that. As soon as you just mention anything about it, next thing, hate speech, anti-Semitism, you keep getting into different strikes until you are completely, cancelled. That's basically what it is, man. The quickest way you want to get yourself cancelled fast, just talk about those fake Jews, man. As soon as you just speak about them, that's basically it. You get taken off whatever platform that you are speaking about them on. The same way Nick Cannon had to apologize, had to then get a re-education from one of those Jewish rabbis, even though he said nothing wrong, alright? Because you Edomites have steadily proven that you are exactly that, cave beasts, good beasts, savages, the true animals, because these Edomites are the true savages out here. Because no other people would have done what these devils do, and they always try to justify their actions when these things that they have done are completely unjustifiable. Alright, now I'm still going, I'm completely going off topic. I'm going to go off topic, but that's how the Spirit just works. Let us keep going into it. Let us just keep going into it, because and it's not just the and the funny thing is that it's not just the Amalekites that are having problems in that land. The Palestinians and even all the other Arabs that are there. You see the different, plagues, basically the plagues that they are going through with the locusts, okay? And even all those sandstorms they get in countries like Dubai, like Saudi Arabia. That's not normal, okay? That's the Most High sending judgment on them, because let me get this system. As it just says, they surely in the fire of my jealousy. this is Ezekiel 36 verse 5, and it reads, "Therefore thus saith Yahweh of power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their hearts, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey." Alright, now basically what these heathen is, they're exploiting our land and doing all kinds of wickedness in that land, and the Most High is judging them for it. Alright, that's why you're having, that's why you're constantly having war in the Middle East. That's why these people in the Middle East, they can't even catch a break. It's always bombing. It's always, even now, even though Babylon has withdrawn their troops, Joe Biden is still sending bombs to Afghanistan, sending bombs to all these Middle Eastern nations, because not only are they in our land wrongfully, trespassing our land, but now they're not keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments in that land. And we all know that the land of Israel, okay, that entire region, the Levant, the Fertile Crescent, that is the land of uprightness. And if you do unjustly in that land, and the Most High is going to reward you for it. Alright, and this is the way that he's sending sending the judgments on them. That's why everybody, whenever I think about the Middle East, I think about, oh, it's a war zone, oh, it's constantly at war, constantly conflict there, constantly, militias, terrorism. Alright, you have what, Hezbollah, ISIS, Al Qaeda, always going on there, killings always going on there. Alright, these things are all children of Yahweh, okay, the sword, basically, that's basically what is going on in that region. Because the Most High is sending that judgment on those people, those heathen that are constantly there, that are there, that have taken that land for their own, when it was not their land. Okay, it was, first and foremost, it's the land of Yahweh, and that land actually belongs to the Israelites, okay, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. But what I want to say, that this is what Esau has done. He has appointed all these lands for it. But this is what Esau has done, right? He has just taken all these lands, as he just said, that he would have the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven. So now Esau is living in all the best places on the earth, living in all the best places on the earth. He has rulership over the whole earth right now, and he is ruling unjustly. Okay. And I'm thinking of a good precept to go into that. I think it was something like upon the poor that was laid, like something like that. Yeah, that's the precept that's coming to my mind. Okay. It is Isaiah 47 verse 5, and it reads, "Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms." And right now Esau is losing that, not Esau, Babylon the Great is losing that position, because there was a time, and let me go into that, let me get that percent. Basically, there was a time where these Americans say, and they will never see any, nobody will and there will never be any threat to their borders. Yeah, that's it. There will never be any threat to their borders. What nation will actually stand up to Babylon the Great? Even now, even now in their weakened state, they are still a force to reckon with, because of those nukes, those nuclear missiles. That's how this is how bad our Shai is, man. Let me just get into that a little bit, but first, let me go into this. Let me go into this first, before I go into those nuclear missiles, because this is how bad our Shai is, man. This is the book of Revelation 18. Not start from the top, but just okay. Revelation 18 verse 7. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the hour of power who judgeth her. And that how I being judged is Babylon the Great, alright? The mother of Harvard, which of course is going through the time talking about America, alright? The United States of America. So now let me get this as well. Isaiah 47 verse 6. I was wroth with my people, and I have polluted mine inheritance, and giving them into thine hand. As it is written, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. No, Job 9 verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right? So now continue on. I was wroth with my people, and I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Thou didst shew them no mercy. Thou didst shew them no mercy. Upon the ancients hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. Alright? Now showing you Esau's mindset, man. Esau's mindset. Ruthless. Ruthless. Basically, old and young, male and female. He don't have mercy on anybody, especially if you are an Israelite, because of that hatred that he has for our people. And that's actually funny because because you go into the book of Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, it talks about that. It shows you, okay, for thy hatred against thy brother Jacob, even blood shall pursue thee. See, thou hast not hated blood. You know what? Undisputed heavyweight champion of blood. That's what these devils are. That's what these devils are. They enjoy killing you Israelites. Okay, they enjoy shedding your blood, and that right there is distinction, right? Because when people say that, oh, different nations have carried different people into captivity, you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, because if you observe, if you look at it right now, people are constantly complaining about Esau's wickedness, how they stole their land, how they stole their people into captivity, how they are the devil. Always what people of the Israelites that they use. When they want to talk about the sins of the Israelites, always, the way they start here, is that music that confused me. When they want to talk about the sins of the Edomites, they always reference so-called what Esau did to our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, because even them, they understand in their spirit. As the scripture says, I believe that in Daniel the 12th chapter, that what has happened to our people, as our people, I can't remember how it goes. As it was done to take that it has not been done on the earth as it has been done to our people. I think that's it. Basically, the precept goes as it has been known that no nation, I forget how it goes. I've forgotten how it goes. Roughly paraphrasing that it has not been done to any. What people have gone through. No other nation has actually gone through. All that. You go into the history of what these devils actually did, starting from Christopher Columbus, and they just recently celebrated Christopher Columbus Day. And before they started bringing out the fact that Christopher Columbus was a devil and Edomite, everybody was celebrating. I remember when I was still a child, right? Whenever they talked about Christopher Columbus, oh, he discovered America, that's it. That's all they ever said. Oh, he discovered America, he don't have, basically, that's all they ever say about him. Right? Even their president, George Washington, I was watching one of these old cartoons recently. I was watching one of them, and they were going to George Washington, and they did, but they weren't going to how he owned slaves, alright? They weren't going to the kind of demon as he was. When they say that, oh, the thing about legend of something about the cherry tree, his teeth that were made of ivory, alright? That's all they'll go into. But they won't go into what he truly did. Even Abraham Lincoln, I talk about how, oh, he freed the slave, but he didn't. He only emancipated the slave, which basically means that he took it out of the hands of out of private hands and gave it, and basically put them in control of the government through the prison industrial complex. And nobody ever argued that the prison industrial complex is not modern day slavery, because everybody knows that it is. And who are the people that are predominantly in those prisons? Jake, alright? So even up to this day, our people are still being preyed upon. Our people are still being used and abused by Esau. The rape, robbery, and the murder are still not stopped. I was listening to the apostle Ariana's latest video, and I know what he said in that. They said that rape, alright? It doesn't mean a sexual assault like all these people out here are saying. It basically means to grab. That's why these Christians, they call the sin of the elect the being of the rapture. Because that's basically what the rapture is. Just the Christians confused way of talking about the Israelites being beamed up. They don't know about the chariots, alright? They don't know about anything about the Lord Yahweh is coming. All they know is that Jake is going to be delivered. All they know is that there are some people that are going to be delivered. The elect are going to be delivered, but they don't know how. That's why they go into the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. It talks about the strangeness of our salvation, right? Because even though we're talking about it, even though we're out here on the highways and byways every week, okay, there are pastors that have been doing videos for about 40 years now. And even before them, you had men that were even doing videos about the exact same thing. They were on the highways and byways speaking about all this. Right now, the Hebrew Israelites, alright, are all over the earth talking about the chariots, talking about how we'll be built up, talking about how our Christ is coming, exactly what he will look like, okay? Woolly hair, dark brown skin. But yet, in that day, people will still be surprised to see our Lord Yahweh Shai. And that's showing you just how, just how dumb these people out there are. They don't want that's showing you just how blinded these people are. They don't even want to get this word, I come out here every day, I come out here every week. They're especially on the highways and byways, they're doing the work. Sometimes they like to go out, sometimes they like to move around a little bit, go to a different part of Lagos and preach there. Go to a different part of Lagos and preach there. Do videos, do sit downs. And yet, I can count on one hand how many people actually know that I'm out here on the highways and byways. Alright? Most people don't even know. They don't even hear what I'm saying. They don't even understand what I'm talking about. And that's I really like the video in the 25th chapter where it talks about how that this world will basically be as the son of a musician. I'm afraid I will go. This will basically be as the sound of a and this one will be basically the sound of sweet music in the ears of our people, because they will be able to hear because they will hear the word, but they won't understand anything about it. It goes inside one ear and comes out the other. And that's basically 2/3 of our people. And that's why the most I call them sottish, because they understand because they are not meant to get it and they're not going to get it. A lot of our people are going to be destroyed. We always talk about this, but now let me just get that perception. Ezekiel 33, verse 32. Or Ezekiel 33, verse 32, and it reads, "And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice, and can play very well on an instrument." Because this is the song that we're singing right now, because the song, it has the melody, it has the rhythm, it has everything that we need to bring it to, that we need to use. And that song is that song of salvation, that gospel, okay, the good news. I think. Let me quickly get that. Okay, I want to go and get the gospel in the blue letter. Because I've forgotten the word I was used there. I actually also looked it up recently. Let me see if I can get that. I think the word was epic. No, that's not it. Okay, evangelion. That's what I was looking for. Evangelion, right? And basically, what that word evangelion means is messenger of good news. You know, angel, you, all right. Going to the word you, it's basically time, all right. The word you got this is the concordance for gospel. Strong G2098, and evangelion or evangelion, right? A reward for good tidings. And you go back and let me just I want to get the etymology for the word. Basically what the word is messenger. Okay, bringing messenger means that bringing good news. Because I also went to the etymology of the word news, and what news basically means is a new thing. Okay, so you get that word Okay, I meant to say that you go back to the word you, not you. So that was my part. You went back to the word EU, which which basically means good. Alright, so good. An angel means messenger. So a good, the messenger that is bringing the good news, a messenger of the good news. That's basically what evangelion means. The gospel means the good news. Evangelion, the message, the good message. Right? That's what it is, the good message, alright? The good news. So now I'm bringing the good news, and that good news is what? The state that people are in right now, where we are at the bottom, where we are for a prey, where everybody and anybody can take advantage of us, we are at the low, where are basically destroyed without an heritage, without a rest, without how did that scripture go again? That people will be without a priest, without a sacrifice, without a temple. That all that is coming to an end, okay? Because first and foremost, through the sacrifice of our Lord Yahushua, you can repent, you can come back, all right, to this truth, to this, in this truth, and then you have all that. You have a priest, okay? You have a sacrifice as protection for our Lord Yahushua. You have a temple. The temple that is being built right now spiritually, and then in the kingdom, after this kingdom comes to an end, you come after this kingdom and you come into your heritage, you come back to your heritage, okay? Because if you don't know who you are, if you don't know your roots, if you don't know where you come from, who you truly are, they are basically dead from the neck up. That's what the scripture said on two separate occasions. Okay, in the book of Job, the 11th chapter, in the book of Jeremiah, the 6th chapter, that you should search the way of your fathers, go back to the old paths, search your history, so that you know, alright, and that's where you get your guidance from. Your heritage is where I have to get those precepts, let me not butcher them. Alright, Jeremiah, let me get them on normal physical Bible. Since I always bring it out, the one I'm probably going to have to get another one. Let me just get it, okay? Jeremiah the 6th chapter, Jeremiah 6 verse 16. Thus saith Yahweh, stand ye in the ways and seek and ask for the old path, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said they will not walk therein, alright? Because our people, they don't want to know about the past. They are focusing, basically, what it is with our people is that right now, they are in that Esau spirit, alright? You know that was it Ecclesiastes verse 2, where it talks about how, let me get that picture. Ecclesiastes verse 2. Okay, not Ecclesiastes, I think it's Wisdom of Solomon verse 2. Yeah, it is. Wisdom of Solomon verse 2 and verse 1. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. And that's basically the mindset of our people, that YOLO, you only live one spirit. Because right now, it's a damn shame about this, by the way. That two-thirds of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which are the Israelites, in this current time, in this current period, okay, they are. So okay, let me just gather my thoughts on this one. Alright, they are the ungodly, okay, they are the wicked. Alright, two-thirds of our people have become our enemy. That's why the scripture says, "What have I become an enemy?" Because I tell you the truth. A lot of Israelites act violently to receiving this truth, man. You saw what happened last week. I don't need to tell you about this, man. You actually saw what happened last week. Okay, even the brother from Italy had to do a response video because of how ridiculous what that was. Okay, when I was trying to explain to this Jake about who Yahushua was, about the truth, you saw how he received it. Alright? Like it was a fight, like it was a battle. Am I there for your enemy because I tell you the truth? Because I was trying to explain to him that Jesus Christ is Cesare Borgia, not our Lord Yahushua. Our Lord Yahushua was a dark-skinned man, and his name was Yahushua, not Jesus Christ, because Mr. James was not invented yet when our Lord Yahushua was born. But a lot of our people, they can't even get that, they can't even understand that simple fact. And a lot of our people react violently, okay? Not that they want to throw hands or anything, not that they want to throw hands or fight or anything. Rather, they buck up against it. They start to scoff. They start to say, they start to scoff. They start to get mad when you talk about how the gods of Christianity are basically idols, right? Because those aren't the true names of the Most High and His Son. Because that's the name that they've been using ever since. But guess what? You think, guess what? I've known the names of Jesus Christ and God for more of my life than I've known Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. But the truth is still the truth, alright? When you hear that our Lord Yahushai was a Hebrew man, an Israelite, and this was his Israelite name, and you, because that's just it, you don't believe in the Most High and His Son, and you don't love him the way you claim to, because if you did, you'd be thinking, oh, this is his real name, let me use this instead, just to be, even if it's just to be on the safe side, right? Because I don't want to be speaking in calling upon the name of the Most High and His Son in another tongue, okay? Especially in the tongue of the people that they were putting to death. Because you go into the etymology of God, nobody knows where that word came from. And if you go into the etymology of the word Jesus, it's Iesos, which goes back to the Greek, alright? Basically meaning earthquake. So it's a mockery. Okay? What was I even going to say again? Alright, right, Jeremiah, right, Job the 11th chapter. And I've been saying these things, alright, in that place where I used to, on that spot for 3 months now. But yes, man, those people out there, they start like, this is the first time they are seeing me out there. And that's a marketplace, okay? That's where people go to go and buy and sell, And I stand right at the gate, preaching, right, prophesying, bringing out this word. But nobody's even interested in it. They might just come out, look at the signs and just go. Because, man, it is what it is, We just pray to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai that if any of the elects are here in Nigeria, that the Most High, that the Most High open their eyes quick, so we can get the hell out of here, Okay, so this is the book of let me just look for it. Using using the search option in the okay, Job 8 verse 8. Job 8 verse 8. For inquire I pray thee of the former age, and prepare thyself for the search of their fathers. For we are but of yesterday and know nothing, because our days upon earth are a shadow. Shall not they teach thee and tell thee, and utter words out of their hearts? And basically that's what it is. You search for the meaning of the whole. You inquire where you came from. That's why you go into the research. If I go into the history, when I was going into the history of the Nigeria, the Israelites in Nigeria, how they came to be. Alright, the oldest West Africa, the oldest civilization here in West Africa is actually the North culture. And these experts in history, and they always argue, go back and forth about it. Some people believe that they started 1,000 years ago. Others believe that it was actually 2,000 years ago, right? Which is before 70 AD, before our people became scattered throughout the corners of the earth, and before our people became refugees here in West Africa. Now I will say this, okay, and this is just speaking as a man, this is not a doctrine philosophy, and it just means saying, okay, from my little, from the little that I've gathered from doing the research concerning this matter, is that I believe that there were Israelites here in West Africa prior to 70 AD, right? I believe that there were actually other Israelites here in this land before that period, and that's why those Greeks that left, right, the Holy Land, when during the siege of Jerusalem, they came all the way here because they had brethren here, right, that they could integrate with and try to build, up their cities back. But going back to Jeremiah, I think it's Jeremiah 14 verse 7, where it talks about how we will be separated from our heritage, and also Second Thessalonians, the second chapter, how there will be a falling away of our people. That falling away has to be for fruit. As soon as we left the Holy Land, we forgot our heritage and we came into this Hellenized state of mind. We're not Nigerian. I'm not a Nigerian. What the hell is a Nigerian? That's the name that Esau gave us. Okay, Lord, look at his wife gave us that name, Nigeria, which basically means land of the niggers. All these countries, okay, Senegal, I forgot the exact Ivory Coast, okay, Gold Coast, which is basically Ghana, right? All these different West African countries, even South Africa, all those names, Egypt, Ethiopia. The word Egypt and Ethiopia, they go back to they are Greek words, okay? You see, even nations that have nothing to do with Esau, it's still the one that is giving them their names, right? All these nations have been given their names by Esau. We're not Nigerians, alright? We are Israelites, the people of Nigeria, the people of West Africa, okay? For the most part, because Islam, Hamites are among us. But for the most part, our lines go back to the land of Israel. And I used to believe that the Fulani were also a part of the Israelites, alright? Because I used to have that belief, but I remember that there's this because there was this I forget the exact book that I read, talking about the Mungo Pass, okay, and what's his name again? Usman Danfazio, yeah. That guy Usman Danfazio, alright, he was a Sultan of Sokoto, I believe. I can't remember the exact history. I have to look into it again. But basically, what I want to say is that he actually has a university dedicated to him in Babylon, and I believe he was Fulani as well. Because that's there's actually more of a video that was going into this book, and in that book it was Mungo Pratt actually recording that the Fulanis actually came from the land of Ishmael, and they were actually Hamites from the Middle East. Okay, they got themselves the Furas, the Fus, and all of that. Because I used to believe that the Fulanis, they are the Fulanis that are the Israelites, because you have a lot of Jakes in Babylon that have Fulani blood in them, that blood actually goes back to those Fulanis. But They actually, I just corrected me for that document. They actually Hamites, and a lot of those people that those people that will be considered Fulani might actually just be Hausa. Because you have a lot of these Hausa people that are actually Israelites, which is why they go to north of Nigeria right now. Those Fulani, when they are terrorizing the outside in Nigeria, which is why you have this guy right now, the president, Buhari, which of course I believe that he's a Hamite, right now he's ruling over Nigeria. You also have the Fulani, having a large portion of control over this country. When you see the north, alright, they have a large amount of control over this country right now. Actually, I'm not really going to go too deep into that because the politics, because Nigerian politics, I don't really get into it, okay? Something else to become something else, alright? Since we're out here, we're out here, and you don't know how good it feels to be out here on the highways and byways, bringing out this road. There's somebody that really goes on. There's somebody that really even goes out. Doesn't even like going out. This is actually enjoy coming out here. You just find a free spot, set up and start getting into this world. Alright, so let me go into something else. And what I wanted to actually go into is, since we're coming into that time right now, that time of the year where these jakes, man, they get crazy for these holidays. You had Christopher Columbus Day. Then you had the Day of the Dead that southern kingdom celebrates. And pretty soon you're going to have Halloween. Alright, which of course these are all celebrations of the Babylon decrees. But majority of our people, because majority of the Israelites are scattered in these nations, celebrate these holidays. So it's still something that is important and it's still something that requires being talked about, because the word holiday basically is a holy day, right? A solemn day of reverence. Because if you celebrate these holidays, it might as well be the same as kneeling before the gods these holidays are celebrated to and bowing down to them. That's exactly what it means to celebrate these holidays. That's why, right, here in these truths, we don't celebrate no Christmas, no New Year's, no Valentine's, no April Fools, no Easter, no Christmas, nothing like that. All these holidays, that people love to get into. We don't celebrate these holidays, man. Alright, so let me get this. And this is the word holiday. And it goes back to the word holy day, consecrated day, religious anniversary, Sabbath. Alright? Because that word holiday, these holidays is actually coming from us Israelites. Because you go into the laws, okay, I brought this out on the Day of Atonement. You go into the laws, every single high holy day in the scriptures is celebrated with a Sabbath. In other words, what? You stay in your house, you don't work, it's basically a public holiday. You see what I'm getting at? Right? Because because Israel don't have a high holy day in their country. Okay, Babylon the Great, whatever country that's getting into. Whenever there's a high holy day, it's basically a public holiday. In other words, everything shut down. No school, no government work. Right? Nothing is running. Even some markets actually closed down because of it's a high holy day. So we are reverencing that day. Okay? And they cut it from the scriptures because every single high holy day, it starts and it ends with a Sabbath, alright? It's Passover. The first day is a Sabbath and the last day is a Sabbath, okay? The Feast of Weeks, first day is a Sabbath, last day is a Sabbath. This is the same thing. The Purim, same thing. Hanukkah, the same thing. All these high holidays that we celebrate, the Day of Atonement, the same thing. Even if it doesn't fall on the Sabbath, it is still a Sabbath, alright? Because that's what a holiday is. Alright? And I continue. Meaning both religious festival and day of exemption from labor and recreation. Right, which is another thing, yeah. I'm not even really going to say it because it goes without saying, just because you can't work on the Sabbath, but that doesn't mean that you go to the gym on the Sabbath, you exercise on the Sabbath, because whenever the Sabbath hits, man, all I'm thinking about is just how I can try to work my way into staying at home, not going out, not going to work, not going for training, not going for anything, just stay at home and just keep the Sabbath, even sometimes I even spend the whole Sabbath just sleeping, just so I won't do any work on the Sabbath. Sometimes the Sabbath falls and I even you just go into fast food because you don't have any food prepared, right? Just make sure I don't do any work on the Sabbath. And lately, what I've been doing now is that the day before the Sabbath, I don't do anything, right? The day before the Sabbath, I try to I come back home early so I can get everything set up for the Sabbath. So I'm going to cook for the day. If I'm going to cook against the Sabbath, I cook, okay? I clean up the entire house, wash all my clothes, alright? Do all my laundry on that day. Get everything ready for the Sabbath so that I don't have to do anything, put on a fresh, I literally clean everything, make sure that everything is fresh for the Sabbath so that I can, just so that you can, what is that I'm looking for? Just so you can celebrate the Sabbath and everything, properly, at least to the best of your ability, because we are still just rehearsing the righteous acts, we still scrub in our celebration here and there, especially now when the Sabbath is falling on a Wednesday, weekdays, weekday Sabbath, now it is, you still have to go out, you still have to make some shekels in this kingdom, man. But those weekend Sabbaths are the best, not the ones that are Friday, Sunday, Saturday, sundown, which of course, that's how the people are in the world celebrate their own Sabbath. But it's still good because that's the time where most brothers get the extension from work. I can still go out the highways and byways in that Sabbath and do the work. But anyway, let me just keep on going into this, okay? Now basically is concerning the holy days. So we as the people, we are Israelites, we have our own high holy days. Because normally, okay, when our people are scattered into various captivity, the Babylonian captivity, the Medo-Persian captivity, the Greek captivity, the first half of the Roman captivity, okay, we were, and they always say this, okay, we were separate, we separated ourselves from all the, from the other nations, okay, from the other people that we were scattered among. Still keeping our own customs, still keeping our own laws, still doing our own thing, because that's how we are meant to be, alright? Our laws were meant to make us a peculiar people. Even the scripture talks about that we are a peculiar people. Alright, that the Most High has separated us from all the heathen. So while all the heathen are celebrating their Christmas, that's another way that that Esau Edom has control over the whole earth. When these heathens, right, they reverence Esau's high holy days more than their own high holy days, alright? Because here in Igbo, we also have our own festivals, our own celebrations that we do. We have our harvests that we do, but Christmas them, okay, Easter them, okay, all these high holy days that Esau gave us, they reverence that more than their own customary high holy days. That's going to be like Esau is like on the earth. And right now, he has everybody basically at the tip of his finger. I've forgotten that saying, but he has everybody under his control, under his thumb, yes. Because he has that rulership right now, and he's the one that decides the seasons, the times, and what should be celebrated. But all of that doesn't matter to us, man, because we are dealing with Jehovah ourselves. We're not dealing with Esau either. That's what you are dealing with if you are still if you are still in the world, if you still believe in speak Jesus and Most High, that's what you are dealing with. Alright, Esau Edom. That's what you are dealing with if you are a heathen. If you're not a part of Israel, if you're not a part of this truth. That's who we are dealing with, Esau Edom, okay? That's who is your power, that's who is your God. And that devil isn't going to save you from what is coming. So now you have the 3 holy days in this, the 3 holidays so-called in this month, which will be that Christopher Columbus Day, the Day of the Dead, La Muertos, something, I've forgotten how they pronounce it, and also Halloween. And our people are meant to be celebrating those holidays because first and foremost, right, Christopher Columbus Day is commemorating a devil who played a huge part in the destruction and the murder, the massacre of our people, alright? We should not be celebrating a high holiday to celebrate the dead. God's scripture says that we should not make any cuttings in our flesh. right? First of all, not make any cuttings in our flesh, alright? And not put anything on our skin for the. I have to get that precept. So let me just get that precept. That is Leviticus, the 19th chapter. Right, here it is. This is the book of Leviticus 19, verse 28, and it reads, "Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am Yahweh." And what they do in this the Day of the Dead, Issachar, okay, that's who celebrates it the most. So the Southern Kingdom be doing is that they paint their faces, that color of I've forgotten what they call those that color but basically they paint their faces that skull shape, which of course is going up according to the scriptures, because you're not supposed to paint. You're not supposed to make any cuts into your flesh or print any marks on you for the dead. That's why tattoos are against the scriptures. Even body paint is against the scriptures, alright? Because it still counts to printing on the flesh. It still counts to putting marks on you. Because that's basically what that is going into. Don't put any marks on your body, not for the dead, not for the living, not for anything, okay? No tattoos, no travel marks, no scarring yourself. Because that's what all these little devils like to do. Especially our women, man. All these teenage Edomite women that they be cutting themselves because of how they are suicidal and all of that. I don't know if people still do that now. I think most of these Edomites just use drugs to deal with their depression now, which of course is also going against the pharmakia sorcery. Alright. Anyway, I lost my train of thought again. I was going into the different holidays that this people out there in the world is celebrating. That are celebrating is going off, okay, according to the scriptures. We have our own high holidays as Israelites we celebrate. We have our own customs, our own feast days and everything. So we should not be, even the scriptures goes into that. Let me get that verse. That's Jeremiah 2 verse 10. Or is it Jeremiah 10 verse 2? Salakia. I made a mistake, Salakia. Jeremiah 10 verse 1. Hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. And once again, another word of prophecy right here. The Most High is telling our people, break up your ears and listen. Pay attention. Hear, O Israel, okay? Shammai Yasharala, alright? They're going into the Shammai prayer, Anyway, let me get back into the main topic, Shammai Yasharala. Shammai, I'm Yah, hear my people. I believe the word I'm is people. Shammai, I'm Yah, hear my people, okay? Shammai, Banya, they will hear my children, hear my sons, okay, the sons of Israel, because you're going to see the word children in the blue letter, the word that you see here is ban, basically means sons. So hear, O Israel, Shammai, Yasharala, listen, my people, the Most High is calling our people to listen to his words. Because you understand that in this time that we're in right now, only the elect are actually listening. So now once again, Jeremiah 10 verse 1. Hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O Israel. Alright? Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So the first part is learn not the way of the heathen. So we're not supposed to be practicing the heathen customs, okay? We're not supposed to be learning the heathen customs. This is how the Hellenization actually started. We consented to the ways of the heathen, because the ways of the Most High are grievous, okay? Are burdensome, burdensome to so many of our people. I remember this video that Bookab did. It actually blew my mind. Like I was like, what how can you even say something like that? You're talking about how can you burden yourselves with all these laws? Okay, the laws of the Most High. But first and foremost, the laws aren't a burden. Okay, you devils are the burden, because you are not allowing us to keep the laws as perfectly or to the best of our ability with your wickedness, okay? Even just something as simple as the Sabbath, the high holy day. No, you can't take a break from work based on religious exemption, okay? Even a religious exemption, man, Esau is even looking for a way to try to remove it so that he can force everybody to take the staff, take MOTB when he comes. Alright, because now even that religious exemption is not even going to be that religious exemption is not even going to be a worthy excuse anymore. And because of the wickedness that you devils perpetrate, okay, because of the wickedness that you devils push, we can't keep the laws to the best of our ability, no matter how much we might want to, right? But yeah, these devils have the mind to say, how can you keep such burdensome laws when you are the ones that are making being able to keep those laws a burden? Alright, but that's how this side works, how does it go again? As he giveth that woe unto them that giveth his neighbor wine to drink, and look upon his nakedness, and then be the accuser of the brethren. Alright? And I think, let me go into that word accuser just real quick. I've forgotten what that word actually, what is actually in the simulator for that word. Right, the accuser. That's that Revelation 12 right there. Let me get that word accuser. Here it is, accuser. Categoreo. Alright, categoreo. Now I remember it again. Strong G2723. Right, categoreo. And basically it means to accuse before a judge, to make an accusation. That's what Esau is doing. Right? Putting us in that box. Black Hebrew Israelites, domestic terrorists, okay? And because that's what they're trying to do right now. They're trying to make us that are in this truth, okay, us that are in this world, the Black Hebrew Israelites, they're trying to make us to seem as terrorists, because not only are they setting up agents in this truth, men like Othal Wallis, okay, people that did that New Jersey shooting against those Amalekites, they're trying to make us seem like terrorists, like a hate group, which in all actuality, okay, the true hate group are you Edomites, you devils, right? Because any negative thing you ascribe to our people actually falls on you. Those Amalekites in the land of Israel, they are the real Black Hebrew Israelites, without lights, without understanding, okay? They are the real, BHIs. Alright, because first and foremost, they're not even actual Israelites, okay? They are Edomites, they are Hebrew Edomites, alright? Because their bloodline doesn't go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Their bloodline goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Esau, the Edomites, right? Amalek. Which you go into the scriptures, Haman was also an Amalekite, a Macedonian, the same stock as Alexander. Alright, even the scriptures charted this, okay, the Edomites, and even you go into the history, you can actually see where the Edomites took over Macedonia, took over Kittim. I believe Kittim is Cyprus today. They took over those regions, alright, from the Japhetic tribes that were originally there. But that's what we're going into, So that was for the category. This is what Esau does. He gives us these labels, alright, these false labels, and then he uses them as buzzwords. Now, every single article, every single news coverage, anytime somebody mentions Hebrew Israelites, they put that word before it. You see what vocab is doing, the Black Hebrew Israelites every time. Even though I'm subscribed to brothers in this truth, that's that aren't even that color, right? That aren't even I can't even consider black. And basically all the brothers I'm subscribed to all the brothers in this truth, none of us are black, okay? Even I myself, I have that brown skin. So who, in all actuality, who is this Black Hebrew? Who are these Black Hebrew Israelites? Esau is talking about. there is no such thing as a black Hebrew Israelite, because that would mean that there would actually be somebody who identified as black in Israel, alright, or in these truths, okay? I can't say for all the other camps, but I can say for at least for Great Millstone. And there's no brother out there that identifies as black, okay? You might use black because it's a relatable word. But when we use black, we always say what? So-called, okay? We are so-called because it's a byword, a proverb, a mockery of our people. Right now, I'm actually going to views about this. How that word black, basically is a word, basically a derogatory word for our people. And that's why, whenever Jake gets called black, especially by Edomites, they give that this look like who do you think you're talking to, you calling me that, right? Because they understand that in their spirit that's actually a byword, a word that is being used against them to make them seem less than human, right? So anyway, continue back on. Let me continue on. I think I want to get that Hosea. I despise. Let me get that. Here it is. Amos 5, verse 21, and it reads, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Though ye offer me burnt offering and your meat offering, I will not accept them, neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy viols. Okay? And that's basically the most tied to our people right now, because all these holidays you celebrate, whether it's in the name of God, alright, and the sacrifices that you give during those holidays, all the praises and the songs that you give, sacrifice of thanksgiving. You go out, you go to the church and you give all these praise and worship songs, all those things are not even being received at the most side. You might have some of them that might actually go through. So I'll say like this, okay? You may have some prayers that actually answered by your hand back to your tribe. But that's just what? The most high winking at your ignorance. And even the scriptures talk about that. And the most high will wink at your ignorance. That has a limit, okay? That there's a certain amount of time in which those prayers won't work anymore. Because you have Jake that will say, oh, well, I use the name Jesus, I use the name JC and it works for me, I can say Jesus, I can pray in that name and it works fine. But that's just the most high winking at your ignorance, okay? Because even if you are calling on the wrong name, you are still an Israelite, okay? And the most high will show you some mercy. Because the mercy of the most high is not, it's perfect, alright? It is balanced. The most high won't just show mercy, even if you are doing all kinds of wickedness, alright, just because he's a merciful God. The mercy, I believe as a precept, and then mercy flow with judgment. Let me see if I can get that. I can't get I don't know where that process is. Basically, basically, the Most High won't just show mercy. Just constantly show mercy. Alright, there has to be a time where the mercy will run out and the Most High brings down his judgments. Right. So all the sacrifices that people are giving, thinking they are giving it in the name of the Most High, but when you are giving it actually to other gods, because as the scripture says, that sacrifice that is either a make, not to the Most High, but to the devil, right? They are sacrificing to the devil, to Satan, to demons, to the devil himself, Esau, Edom, because that's what you are referencing in these high holy days, these high, and these feast days that are celebrating. You go into the history of these high holy days, you know, Halloween goes back to a Celtic, which of course they were Jakes as well. But they were doing it in, they were celebrating that in a hidden, mystic manner. It goes back to the Celtic, it goes back to a Celtic celebration, you know, with the pumpkins, the trick or treats, right? They're going from door to door. That's all. You know, that's all part of pagan rituals that go back to human sacrifice. And I believe they put the intestine and the organs in those pumpkins, if I remember correctly. And the trick or treat was that they took a individual from it. You know, they chose, you know, that if you could not give them some, you know, if you could not give them such a I need to repeat from that history. But basically, it all goes back to pagan worship, okay? I don't need to know the exact details. All you need to know that it's not in the scriptures, so we don't do it, alright? Anything that isn't celebrated in the scriptures doesn't go back to the customs of our people. We don't celebrate it. Even if it's our people that originated it, we still don't celebrate it, because those jakes that made Halloween, okay, they weren't in their right state of mind. They were in that hedonistic mind state, which made them to bring up that high holy day. So we don't celebrate that high holy day, right? So yeah, what I was going to say, so yeah, but now, you know, so yeah, as I was saying, now the thing is, how do we actually celebrate, you know, the high holy days, right? This is actually going to it, you know, Leviticus 23rd chapter, which I'm not actually going into all that right now. You know, I've actually gone into it before, right? Which of course talking about the different high holy days that we actually can't celebrate: the Sabbath, the new moon, and the various feast days that we're going to. Okay, even adding the Purim, adding the other feast days that are added. You know, when we were from different situations that people were in, going into the Purim during the time of Esther and Haman, guys, going into Hanukkah during the time of the Maccabees. Okay, nice. So, running out of things to talk about right now. I think I'm running out. No, I have something else going. Let me go into